The year is 1956, and the world is on fire. There's a Cold War between the Ligue Solarii, or Pact Zelenik, who are a bunch of ancient pagan lapers, and the Pacific Workers' League, who are a bunch of commies. The world building is fluid, unfinished, unfindable at some points. At least I'll be the first to try. Britannia was somehow successfully invaded by Insano France, and now lives under the unexistent boot. Quite reasonably. No one likes this arrangement.
Révoltez et parlez de fer, de sang, de feu et d'ossement. Avance!
France stands as the master of Western Europe. I don't know how a nation that doesn't even believe in existence can do that, but here we are. As one can guess, only Le Patron is keeping this mess together, and when he dies France collapses. The past include madmen, madmen, less madmen, and prims, and madmen. While Italy may have an empire of its own, the Comandante of Italy has a shaking reign. The coup may result in this. Does not seem nice. Yes, give the military power. What could go wrong? This hardly seems like a good idea either. What? Despite her best efforts, the torch of Leninism has went out. Socialists are brutally oppressed in former Germany, but they see a chance when France collapses. Spain has taken over Portugal, and will have a nuclear disaster. Ireland can turn socialist. The Nordics is run by an Arctic explorer under the Social Democratic Workers' Party. Austria has become a nation of speed and revenge. Turkey got cut in half. And Prussia didn't get to savor its victory for long, before being cooped by accelerationists. Scythia's power stretches from the Baltics to the Bering, but it is moribund. To the east, Japan has declared war on all its neighbors. To the west, Poland is throwing off the Russian yoke for the billionth time. And oh, the Vocht is dying. Good luck. Gorgulav's old confidant can take power, and then just die. Replaced by a reformist or an ultranationalist. Or a fundamentalist can take over, completely destroying Russia before shooting at an open window, knocking over a candle and starting a fire, and, thinking the fire was the devil coming to fight him, jumping. If they lose the war in the East. Or, maybe Russian nationalists can take over the mess? Central Africa is split between two regimes. One side are right-wing colonialists, and the other side makes them look saintly. They will go to war with each other. Please support the Portuguese. South Africa is hardly any better. The Union collapsed into 3 bits around 1947, and a reunification war is just round the corner. Add to the mix Prussians who ran from the Congolese insanity and Pan-Africanists trying to unify the place too, and Africa is not having peace for quite some time. The fragmented Chinese state got invaded by Red Japan in the east, and Mongolia in the west. In the east, the Japanese imperialists cut Manchuria away from China. Some communism. In the mountains, the hope for a free China burns yet. And though the northwest is under the Mad Baron's rule, a feudalist syncretic state, they can restore the Qing dynasty. Why not? India still hasn't reunified. The Greek madwoman has decided that the Mad Baron was the real avatar all along. The communists are, expectedly, supported by Japan. This leaves the Azad Hind with no one, far as I know. Hyderabad and Mysore are still here somehow, and the Muslims, Sikhs and Tamils have left. British Ceylon still exists and they are weeping. Southeast Asia is under the people's control of Japan. Iran, on the other hand, is forging a different path of Marxism and Islam. The last Bolsheviks huddled in Vladivostok, buoyed by the might of Japan. They can potentially liberate the Far East, then cut their strings. It's all well and good if Japan wins the Great Eurasian War, but if the Mad Baron does instead, then civil war breaks out. Don't know why no such thing happens with Scythia. Mexico is a bastion of sanity, except for the Mayan resistance so bad they have to give them military free rein. France managed to invade Canada, interestingly failing to take Quebec. Canada is under a military regime, and I can hardly expect Quebec to be having a good time under them. Alaska is being fought over by American remnants, Japanese Aleutian and Orthodox Russian refugees. This can result in the Confederacy reform somehow, liberal socialist crab-based economy, and all-believer theocracy. A red tide is starting in the Andes. The Guyanese futurists have adopted a much simpler flag. Brazil? What are you even doing? France went to America immediately after taking Europe. It seems that Le Patron somehow found console commands. The Ligue Solaire now controls the 13 colonies plus Louisiana. New England is under Lovecraft's socialist regime. Florida has become the land of hippies. Georgia is the land of hedonism. Technocracy still exists. Everything goes south when France collapses. Everything from restorationists to socialists to the KKK has risen up against the French yoke. Most of America remain tantalizingly out of reach, and most Americans wish to avenge their defeat to literal madmen. The former government has hunkered down in Texas, socialists went down there too, there are alien worshippers in Roswell, Deseret gave up on their democracy, Montana became Canadian, Imperium happened, the California National Guard ran to Nevada, California is Japanese, European refugees made a bastion of stability, and Seattle turned into a bandit den. The bandits can somehow unify. Somehow. The proto-fascists can go 5 ways, the old path, doubling down, pragmatism, social democratic racism, and alien worshipper racism. Social democratic racism sounds weird, sure, but it isn't that far-fetched. The European refugees have many paths to come, and Johnny Cash leads a band of partisans. I did not stutter.